Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts. That's the message the Lord God has given unto me to give unto you. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts. This is it right here. That's found in Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. And I'm Elijah, and told I'm going to send Elijah to you before the great and dreadful day of the Lord. You shall turn the horse of the children back to the horse, back to the children, at least I come and strike the earth with a curse. Well, let's get deep into it. Let's go to Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. And this how it reads: But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now remember, these were the curses that he had did when unto Egypt. Yeah, with all these curses. Say, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkened not to the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments, his statutes, which he commanded thee. And so it said, look, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed, what? Forever. See? So that's the blessings and the curses. So I should suggest once again that you go read Deuteronomy chapter 28. The reason why I'm telling you about those curses, because those curses have been started. They just gonna grow. Jesus told you that this is the beginning of sorrow. I'm not here to keep you a long time. I just want you to understand that these pastors and these preachers and teachers, man, they lying to you. Yeah, they've been lying to us for a long time, and they've been pounding that stuff in us since we was children. And so all we do is grow up and regurgitate everything that they say, and they took out the choice words and tell you everything. I was listening to this man, the Forgotten Truth, called himself Brother Jordan. And so on the Forgotten Truth, he talked about the Lord God has done away with the spiritual gifts. God had never done with the spiritual gift, neither the talents. He told them that. He told them when the judgment comes, you gotta have talents, you gotta have spiritual gifts. That's what this is about, man. Oh man, the Lord God gave people signs, strength, signs and wonders that they should perform. Those that are of him, that are of him. So you go ahead and say, then you got Pastor here, oh, God gonna come down here anytime. Jesus gonna come down here and fly your way. That's another lie. The Lord God told you these things gotta happen before he comes. So that's another. I listen to him, man. This can go on and on, because this Sunday, Sunday morning, the first day of the week, all of them come out with their lives. Another thing too, let me tell you about they're keeping the first day of the week as God's. No. The thing about it is that the day of Pentecost and how the brothers and them got together on the first day of the week. The reason why they got together on the first day of the week, because they had kept the Sabbath. It was Israel. They weren't going to break the Sabbath for nothing. And you read the scriptures and everything, they always kept the Sabbath day. So this other thing, what they talking about, the first day, well, I was under that foolishness too. Not knowing the covenant day, but all that was to keep you in bondage, so you never get the power, because there's power from up on high. And you see all that little stuff you're going through, and your children will allow your children out there with that abomination. Pray for them, be patient with them, and if you get back in the bonds forever covenant and keep all God's command, what God said to that, what He's gonna do for your children, God is not lack of His promises. All right, so let's go. Lack of His word, His promises, His word. Okay, so we're going Jubilees chapter 49, the book of Jubilees chapter 49. We're going to verse 2. Because on this night, at the beginning of the festival, the beginning of the joy, you were eating a Passover. You was eating a Passover lamb in Egypt. And when all the powers of Mesmer had been let loose to kill all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, the firstborn and all Pharaoh, and the firstborn, the captive manservant, and in the mill, and even the firstborn of the cattle. This is a sign that the Lord God gave them, that every house on the doorpost which they saw the blood of the lamb of the first year they should not enter to kill, but should pass by it, that those should be exempt that were the house, because the sign of the blood was on the doorpost. All right. And the powers of the Lord did everything as the Lord commanded them, and they passed by all the children of Israel, and the plague did not come on them to destroy them, the cattle, man, or dog. All right, you see, the plague was oppressive in Egypt. There was no house in Egypt where there did not one day weeping and lamentation. But what I'm going back to chapter 2, because on the night, the beginning of the festival, beginning of the joy, the eating of the Passover lamb, the power of Mesmer had been. So, Mesmer is that what they call uh, the devil. Now, I'm not going into it with that, but they also had some of Israel people died on that night too, but they went out and buried them before the morning because they didn't believe. And they was destroyed. So I just finished reading that. So I'm not going back in that. So you go find the book of Asher and find that out. But the reason why I'm telling you, so you go to this book here. This is a testimony of 12 patriarchs. Other people have other books. But when you go to the book of the testimony of 12 patriarchs, go to our father Levi and see what our father Levi says about that. Listen to what he says. Our father Levi, the third son of Jacob and Levi. He said, "Hear therefore regarding the heavens which have been shown to thee. The Lord is for the cause gloomy unto thee, and that, behold, all the unrighteous deeds of men, it has fire, snow, ice, and made ready for the day of judgment." This our father Levi tell, and this was going to come on the earth. In the righteous judgment of God, for in it are all the spirits of retributions for vengeance on man. And the second are the hosts of the armies which are ordained for the day of judgment, to work vengeance on the spirit of deceit and of the Belial. So, the Belial, that's what they call it, the evil and wicked one. And above them are the holy ones, and the highest of the wealth in the great glory of God, and above all the holy ones. And in the heaven next to it, the archangels who minister make propitiations to the Lord for all the sins of ignorance of the righteous, offering the Lord sweet smelling savor, reasonable and bloodless offering. So when you read that, you go in. I'm not reading all to you because I don't want to stay it long. So when you read that, you see everything. You see all the prophecy of what's going to happen to man, because that's what this is. This is the prophecy. Saying the second are the hosts of the armies which are ordained for the day of judgment, who vengeance on the spirit of deceit and the Belial. So I just finished reading to you. So what Lord God did, what the Lord God did, He's gonna do it again. So that night, Lord God let loose Satan. Yeah, He let loose the devil and all his hosts on the earth, and it killed all the firstborn. That's going to happen again. That's what our father Levi was telling. This happened before Father Levi. Yeah, this after Father Levi died. Soon after Father Levi, same day Father Levi died, then I just finished reading that to you in the answer. That's when the day of darkness and all that came upon the curses started. But so all I can do is give it to you like the Lord God have given unto me. So we know the day of darkness is coming again. But we know that now that the day of darkness, all I told you in the dream, once again the Lord God didn't show that all that I can't say a dream, man, I was deaf. Seeing all those fallen angels coming down out that second heaven, boy, and they were crossing that moon, and it was thick darkness, just like the Lord God told you happened in Egypt. It was so thick. All that fallen angels. So that once again, that's what I'm telling you what's coming. So yeah, well, all these plagues and curses coming up on it. And it's gonna culminate with that one plague. Go ahead, that one curse when the Lord God come back, man. The whole earth should have did the Lord be. Well, let me finish reading that to you. Yeah, because you need to know these things, man. These things are man. These things are coming, man. You just Amos going to Amos chapter 5. All you want to know the prophecies in Amos chapter. I mean, all the prophets are in the minor prophets. But let's see, Amos chapter 5. He said, listen to this. We're going to start at verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. If a man did flee from a lion, a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall, a serpent bit him. Should not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? I hate and I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offering, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of the vows. But let judgment run down like waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. Have ye offended unto me sacrifices? Forgive me. Have you offered unto me sacrifices, offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? But you have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch and chewed your images, the star of your God, which you made to yourself. Therefore I will cause you to go into captivity beyond the Damascus, say the Lord, whose name is the God of hosts. So that's the Lord God, man. That's what he had gave me. That's what he had gave me. So when you go to Amos chapter 5, it's tell you. Another one I want to read to you, man, Isaiah chapter 60. I gotta find out where it's at now. It's Isaiah chapter 60. Because these things are coming up on us, and well, they're here now. They're here. They've been birthed, and they're gonna do what they do. Things go up. They get worse and worse. They get older and older. So that's what. Right now, you should know about these things. You should know. It's just only reason why I'm telling these things because there's some people still hard as hard. They won't go and read. They don't. They stay in the Holy Bible. That's all they read, the Holy Bible. But you should know that the Holy Bible has been abridged. So, well, all I can do is give it to you. So when you go and you see that the Holy Bible has been abridged, and so a lot of people. A lot of people don't understand it. And they've been, oh, my parent, my mom. All right. Well, I'm just telling you, that's what the Lord go ahead to tell me. Yeah. So that's all I can do. So let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 60, verse 2. Well, we can start at verse 1. Arise, shine, for the light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall rise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee, and all the Gentiles shall come to light, and the kings to the brightness of the rising. Lift up thine eyes round about, and see all they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, thy daughter shall nourish by their side. I'm not going to all that for you. I'm not going all that there because you should go and read and study for yourself. You know, the Lord God give it to me, and I give it to you, and I tell you where it's at. And if it's different, if you because we know with some people have handicaps and things that they can't read and stuff like that. But Lord God will make a way. Yeah. Oh yeah. Jeremiah chapter say here, Jeremiah chapter 13, I read this to you before too. Hear ye and give ear, and be not proud, for the Lord has spoken. Give glory to the Lord your God before he cause darkness, before your feet stumble upon the dark mountains, while you look for light. He turned into the shadow of dark and make it gross darkness. But if you will not hear it, my soul will weep in the secret places for your pride, and my eyes shall weep sore and run down with tears, because the Lord flock is carried away captive. Well, we know, but we know that means something else also. So I mean, I hope I cleared up a few things with you about the day of darkness and where it's come from, and know that it's of the Lord and it's of Satan, fallen angels coming. Lord God letting the fallen angels loose to for the chastisement. That's what you say. If you don't understand it, go back once again and read the Testament of the 12 patriarchs, the Testament of Levi, the third son of Jacob and Leah, and the vision of the heavens. And it tells you, man. Then when you go to the vision of the heavens, it tells you everything that's going to happen. It's going to tell you all what's going to happen. Our father Levi left us there. Yeah. All our fathers left us different prophecies of different things that could happen. And that's what I read to you also, that's what happened. We done forgot the ways of the ancients, and we have to go all the way back to our father Adam and start doing as they did. Father Adam, Father Zet, uh, Enoch, all our fathers repented with their whole heart, kept all his commandments in the back and bind forever covenant, that their seed, their offspring, their descendants forever, shall humble themselves before the throne of grace, call on the holy name, Lord God, Jesus, whose name is excellent, repent with their whole heart, keep all his commandments in the back and bind forever covenant. See this paper here? The Lord God gave me this paper, said, write the vision and make it plain. So he gave me the visions and everything, I just put them on the paper, written them down, had them published, made them plain, and given them out. Yeah. So you really want to know what's going on. You really want to know what's truly going on. I'll tell you, go to man, I just had this. I think it's chapter 63. Might not be chapter 63. But you go into the book of Jasher, 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 because people call them different things, different names. So you go to that, and then when you go to that book, you can start. Well, I had started. Let's see. I just had to be. I think it was chapter 76 where I started at. Chapter 76. Let me make sure. I'm gonna let you go. I'm not keeping it too long. I want to say chapter 76. Oh, no, that's the sense. Chapter 77. Nope. Okay. All right. So we're going to chapter 80. In the end of 2 years, Moses went Canaan. Yeah. I looked at the picture, and behold, the water was turned. It's chapter 80 in the book. Chapter 80. It's chapter 80 in the book of Jasher, Jasher. It's chapter 80. In that chapter 80, it tells everything. It tells us everything what happened. It tells us everything what happened to Egypt. And those plagues are going to happen to everybody all over the world. And then, but the main part is not going to happen. See, you see when the Passover is what you're doing, the Passover. So when the Lord God, go read this book in the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. I'm telling you, read this book, but go read the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. And when you're reading the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, it tells you, our fathers tell us two things. Our father Dan tell us one thing, and our father Judah, I think it's Judah, will tell us something else. Let me see. Because I want you to know these things, man, because it's the starting, man. It did start. Let me see. That's our father Judah who told us this. I know our father Dan told us, and our father, I gotta get it first. Let me get it. Yep, and our father Judah. Our father Dan, our father Judah, and our father Dan, they told us what's gonna happen, and the Lord God gonna come back, and we repent with our whole heart, keep all his commandments. Then he's gonna come and take us, and when he take us from out of this captivity and bring us back into the wilderness and places of that nature, then he's gonna destroy the earth. Yeah, that's what he say. He's gonna destroy. He's gonna destroy all the earth. When I mean all the earth, I mean, well, I seen the earth being rolled together like a scroll, just like it should say in the book of Revelation. But I have seen other things too. I've seen the earthquakes, giant, massive earthquake before the earth was rolled together like a scroll. Also, I've seen Warren Wood. So if you look and listen to my videos, In my videos, I tell you all the different dreams that I had and different things. The time of weapons I seen come down, the destructions I seen. So all those are in my videos. The reason why I'm telling you this now, because one day you're gonna wake up and they're not gonna have the internet as you think they have. Everything might be blacked out. Everything in the world might be blacked out. All I can do is give it to you like that. And then all this communication, all these systems gonna be down. And you don't know how long they're gonna be down or nothing. But you know the word of God and you have the have the books, then you understand. But if you're in the bind keeping all God's commandments and his holy covenant, no, God, that's what he's doing now, warning you, telling you about what is to come. This is not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord. So, I just told you 2 dreams. I told you more than 2 dreams. Okay, I'll tell you a dream. A dream of the flood in Europe. Man, I can hear the water running. You know how you hear a breach of a levee or something, and you hear all the water rushing down, just like they show you on the dams and all that break. So I kept on hearing the rushing of the water, and I couldn't understand where it was coming from. Then the next thing I know, I heard that rushing of the water. I said, God, here come that water. And boy, that water was rushing. And this time I was in Europe. And this I know I was in, so rushing. So I would run through these gates, and I see this big old pretty fountain, big beautiful fountain. And then I run past there, and I hear the water rushing in and coming in into that lane, into where the fountain was at. So that was one dream I saw. I heard the rushing of water. Another time I heard the rushing of water, I was on the river, Mississippi River in New Orleans, and I was on this raft, and I was on top of that raft, and that levee breached. And boy, when that levee breached, it breached in the French Quarter area, and it breached. And boy, I could see this coming on, flowing on down. Oh, that water was coming in the city. Oh, that water was coming in the city. And then one more dream. Tell you one more dream. Then I'll leave. I was on my front porch, and when I was on my front porch, I have like an iron railing. And then from my porch, I looked south. See, my front door faces south. It faces towards the Gulf of Mexico. And man, when I looked up there, boy, I seen that big old, we call them tsunamis. People call it tsunamis. Some call them tidal wave, but I seen it. And boy, it was so high, it blocked out the sun. That's how high it was. And all I could do was grab onto that rail and say, dang! Boy, that water. And then I woke up from that dream, yeah. I woke up from that dream. Then I had another dream this year, I think. And the dream I had this year was that, well, no, I was only tell you a few dreams. Dream that, man, I seen so many floods. Man, I could, in this dream I had, a friend of mine was in the house that I am now. We was walking to the back, and the water hit the ceiling. I don't know how hard it is, but it had hit the ceiling, and the roofs and things started leaking, and it buckled a little bit. That's how massive that water was coming in here. Man, I've seen so many floods. Then I was on the Mississippi River. This was just before I was on the Gulf of Mexico, and I was in Biloxi, Mississippi. This in the vision. And so as I'm on the Gulf of Mexico, they have this man out there fixing a boat. And then I had to see the snake, and the snake is on this branch and on a tree. And he said the water comes up, the water is going to come up high as it reached a serpent's neck, just like that. And so that's how high I turned that thing on. I wasn't supposed to, or it's 4 o'clock. And so that's how high the water came. And from then on, the floods in Louisiana, floods in Texas, wherever the floods are at, all the flood was high as a serpent neck, so they was high in a tree like that. Ever since then, that's how high the floods are. And so that's what started that. And so another flood that I see, this one haven't came in. On this flood, all the Gulf South was flooded. I mean flooded. I mean, like when the water come down from the Mississippi River and just takes over everything, all the whole area. That's what it did. Boy, and all the Gulf South was flooded. I'm talking about, I know for sure all of Louisiana was flooded. I mean, talking like from, we're going to say all of Covington, all of Slidell, all of New Orleans, and all other surrounding parish that the river run through was flooded. I mean, it was flooded. It was so flooded, the government couldn't do nothing. Nobody could do nothing. So this is not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. And until next time, I am Elijah.